Hi, my name is Carlos and I'm with AA Home Service Providers, and we're here to show you just how easy it is to install your vented faucet. So we've already drilled the hole. You can see some of our other videos on drilling the hole if you haven't done that yet. Typically you can use a hole that's maybe been put there for your soap dispenser. A lot of times you need it to be about a 1-inch hole, and your vented faucet goes in there and tighten up. So we've already done that. So now we're going to move along to our machine. So we've taken the Echo H2 hydrogen machine out of the box, and so we're going to show you how to prepare it now for putting it together underneath the sink. So first of all, there's a little plug here, and all of our fittings are compression fittings. So you've got this cool little tool, and what I mean by compression fittings is literally you compress this little thing underneath here and it pops out. Let's see, can you get to that? See, what I'm compressing is those little pieces right there. You compress it, push it in, and it pops out. So very simple. Same thing with the top. There's a little black part that comes out of here. Similar to this one, just but black, and you pop it out. You'll see it on yours. We already took it out on this one. All right, so the next step is I'm going to prepare, because this is gonna go to our hose fittings for our vented faucet, and this goes on top. Literally, just hand tighten it. It screws on, it's simple, it's easy. And you just hand tighten it. Don't need no tools necessary. This is plastic, so you don't wanna crunch it down and snap that plastic, just nice and snug. And you've got double seal there, so you're fine. This is all ready for our flex hose. All right, so now we'll look at the bottom. And the next thing we wanna put on here is our 90-degree with the little hose on the end of it, okay? So that's gonna pop in here so that we can run our hose simply and easily. You're gonna feel it kind of snap in, and then just kind of pull it out and notice that it's snug. You don't have to jerk it, just nice and gentle. Okay, very simple process. These are all right, so the next step is your guide for your vented faucet. We've got our hoses here. You've got a red, blue, and a white, and that's what it shows on here. Is your red is your supply, going to your supply line, your water, okay? And then your blue is coming into your filter, and then the treated water is coming through the white up to your faucet, okay? So now that's what we're gonna do. First of all, as we get started, you definitely wanna make sure it's still unplugged. Always when you're working with this stuff, you wanna make sure it's unplugged. Now in here, we've already put our T-valve in. You can see the other video on how to install the T-valve. We have it already installed here. And what I want to do is I want my red pipe is going to connect to my T-valve, and you will notice you've got a little sediment screen here with an arrow on it. Okay, see the arrow? You want the arrow to be pointed, there we go, coming out of the supply, okay? So if my supply is coming out this way, okay, my supply line, my T-valve, you want the arrow, the flow of the water to go away from the T-valve, okay? So as you can see, I'm gonna show you how these compression fittings work because we've got a blue one to do it. Just push this little tool on it and then it slides out, okay? But when I push it in, it locks it and it holds it and it seals it up. The only way you can get it to come out is if you push it, that little blue thing there, and then it slips out, okay? So I'm gonna show you that one more time. So there you go, it's properly set in there. And push it all the way in. If you had to cut your pipe, make sure that you cut it straight so that it'll make a nice clean seal in there. Okay, so now we're gonna grab our red, and remember the flow. The flow is going this direction. So the blue side needs to be on your faucet or your T-valve side. Okay, the blue goes towards your T-valve, and then we're just gonna slip that right in there, okay? And you can feel it, you pull out a little bit, it's nice and snug. All right, and then this is our screen. Again, look at the arrow. You want the arrow pointed towards, if you can see that hopefully, towards the red pipe, okay? And we're just gonna connect that in. This is so simple, anyone can do this. See, now it's nice and tight. So our T-valve, water flow coming into the red pipe. Now next, what we're gonna do is we're going to do, we'll refer to our chart here as a reminder. So we're going to do the blue line next. The blue line comes from the faucet to the filter. Now, obviously, our Echo H2 machine does not look like this filter, but we want to run it to our filter. So the blue line here is going to come into the bottom of our machine into this bottom part, because it goes into, this is where your flow of your blue wants to go in, okay? Now, obviously, what do we see here? It's too, no, actually it might work. But if it was too short, that's what's nice. Look at this, I have a 90, okay? Then all I would do is take one of my pieces of white pipe that's been included with it and cut it with scissors, cut it with a razor knife, something, and cut it nice and straight, and then place it in here. You can extend it out and then put it further. So that's what I'm gonna do, just so we have plenty of room and the pipe is very flexible. If you can see this now, I'm gonna push it right in there, snug, and then pull it out, make sure it doesn't come out, check both of them, nice and snug. Now I can place my blue in this one. As you can see, the blue will go right on top there now. Bam, all these pipes are all the same size, so our couplings work perfectly on all of this. So now, as I place it, I'm gonna place it inside the cabinet now and adjust my hose a little bit. And the last and final one is our white hose. Again, refer to your chart. Okay, what do we see? It says treated water from filter back to faucet. Well, the top of this on the Echo H2 machine is where the treated water comes out of. So you've got the treated water that will go to the white and back up to the faucet. So this will complete our circuitry. But guess what? It's too big. It doesn't fit. You're like, where's my part for this? So check your box, because every faucet or every Echo H2, one of the other is going to have your adapter. Okay, so your adapter here will bring it to the correct piping size. Okay, so we can first place it into on our hose. There, see, make sure it's nice and snug. Again, push it all the way in firmly, but don't have to force it. It goes in nice and easy. Okay, and then our adapter, see how it made the hose bigger here? The adapter will then go in the top of the machine. Again, feel how snug it is. And if you needed to take it off, that's where this bigger part comes in, because that's what you hold it with now and slide it out. Okay, these are what we call compression fittings. So I'm holding that to get it to come out, but press it in, nice and snug. It doesn't come out, but if I use the tool to hold it, it just slides out. Okay, that's how compression fittings work. Very simple, very easy. If you ever find yourself having a drip or maybe a little bit of water coming out from somewhere, then the reason is probably your cuts weren't straight or it's not seated in. Just take it out with your tool, make a correction on it, and put it back in. But this one's pre-cut, so this one should be a beautiful, nice, perfect seal, and it's all ready. All right, so we've got our T-valve. Remember to review, our red line coming from our faucet is what we call the supply line. Okay, so it's coming from our T-valve. We've got the arrow in the skimmer. This is just a little screen to get any sediment out. The arrow's pointing towards the red line. The blue side is on the T-valve side, up the red line, then coming down the blue, right? So our blue comes down from the faucet into the bottom of our Echo H2 machine, and that then is filtered through the machine, the hydrogen's put in, and then back up through the white one with our adapter here to adapt to the size for our top mount. Okay, so now the next step is we plug it in so we can get some power here. So let's get this plugged in. Oh, let's see if we can reach it here. All right. Now, some of you may have a garbage disposal. And you can see this one is a double plug. One is for the garbage disposal, and the other one is powered. So you have to verify that your power is separate from the garbage disposal, like this one is separate power, or just make sure it's not on a switch, because you want to maintain your power all the time. And you can tuck your cords back in here now, and then just slide your machine back into a good spot. Your hoses are flexible, so you don't have to worry about anything getting broken or anything. Just be gentle with them though, and get them out of your way. All right, and then your blue. All right, and then you've got a little power switch on the back. Let's make sure they know where that is. Okay, this is where you want to turn your power on now that everything's plugged in and good to go. And make sure your fuse is pushed in. If it's not, sometimes they pop out. You just tighten it up on there. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, but the fuse is in all the way, and you turn on the power. You heard it turn on, right? Well, let's do it again in case you didn't. 3, 2, 1, turn it on, and then what happens? It lights up. There you go. See, now, if you see, it's off, right? If I turn it on, guess what? Nothing happens because there's no water flow yet. Now we go back to our T-valve over here. See this little handle? Simple, and go back. Again, this is a simple installation that we have another video for. I'm going to turn the water on now. Not very fast, just nice and gentle and slow to get my water flow going. And then at that time, you can check your hoses because now my red line, right, is good. No water leaks. All right, and now we're gonna turn on our hydrogen machine. And you're like, there's still no turning on the machine. It's because now we have to turn it. It's controlled by our faucet. So the water will not flow through until I turn on the faucet. That's why we run our supply line up to the faucet. So let's try it out. Oh, it kicked on. Oh, and we have success. So you'll want to run it a little bit and let it get a nice flow going, hydrogen going through it. But there you have it. It's really simple. It just takes following directions with the compression fittings and everything. I'm sure you can handle it and have your hydrogen water right away. As soon as you get your machine in, you can get your hydrogen water in as well. And this is our Vented Faucet. Simple and easy to install. Check all your compression fittings. Make sure nothing's dripping. If it is, like I said, just stop everything, turn all the water off, and then just adjust them a little bit and check them again, and they'll stop dripping. It'll all seal up for you. All right, now we'll check and make sure it's gonna shut off completely. Takes a couple seconds again because it's flowing through the machine and everything. And there we go. I think we have good results. And it's perfectly normal, again, for it to drip like that a little bit because it goes through the entire machine, through all the hoses and everything, so you've got the water. But see, now it's pretty much stopped. Now I'm gonna turn it on one more time just so you can see it and watch the machine turn on too. Hydrogen water, there you go. And give it a couple seconds while the hydrogen water gets up here, and you're good. Everything's good to go. Congratulations, you are now on your way to a healthier body with hydrogenated water with the Echo H2 machine. Thank you, Paul Baratero. He's actually the CEO and founder of Synergy Science. Appreciate you doing all that you do and the way that you have created this wonderful Echo H2 hydrogen machine to put hydrogen and health into the water. Have a great day. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us and we'll help you make sure you get your installation done correctly and easily.